Fabrice Gautrat. I'll go ahead and kick things off, and then we'll turn it over to questions. Fabrice, opening remarks following today's victory here over Utah.
Yeah, look, always feels good to get your first win, especially at home, so very positive. I think defensively, when we were very compact, we made it very hard to play through, and I thought we caught them in transition quite a number of times. I do think with the chances we created, even in the first half, I know it didn't show in an XG, but we had a couple moments where you're right inside the box. We decided to pass, it is what it is, but we had like 2 or 3 kind of clear-cut one-on-ones that I think we need to do better at. But overall, I think a solid performance, and we'll take the win.
Thank you for that. We'll take questions here in the room. Theo?
Hi, Fabrice. Congratulations.
Thank you.
I felt like there was some emotional, sort of good expression of feelings on the bench at full time. And just tell me about that moment, kind of you and your staff, and then the huddle as well.
Huddle meaning, sorry.
You and the play, like
at the end.
There was the final whistle moment. You and the bench, some really good stuff with your assistants, and then kind of what you were saying to the players in the huddle.
Yeah, look, I think obviously I think everyone's been pushing and working so hard, and this crazy game of football. You know, I think sometimes you dominate and you play really well and you don't come away with a result. And then I thought today, like, I thought we were good. I always think, you know, and what I said at the end is like, look, it takes a lot of work to get this. You know, this victory, and I thought the performances were good for the most part, but I think we should also leave here not completely satisfied because I think we can give a lot more. But overall, again, maybe it's one of those first-time jitters. You just got to get it away, and then hopefully we can start moving forward. So,
can you talk to me about the substitution Diana for Danny? I felt like that was a moment of the game. Not only tactically, it gave you a different look, you know, more physical, central presence, but it also showed from your point of view, 17 minutes left, we're putting on a striker, we're taking off a 6. It felt like you spoke about this actually pre-game. You wanted like a mental, tactical change from your team. I felt like you were showing that on the sidelines.
Yeah, that's one for sure. We also, if you look at it too, Danny was also on a card. We dropped Maggie in the 6, who's very good in the 6, and I think it was just more of those like, all right, let's just. Yeah, because she had a card, I felt like our lines were getting stretched. Obviously, we know Maggie's ability to cover ground, so that was also part of it. We also had a really good 9 in D, and she created a phenomenal 1v1 opportunity. So, yeah, part of it was that. Part of it was, okay, well, what do we need right now? And I felt we needed to kind of secure that space. We decided to go with Danny. It could have been Sheehan too, but I think, yeah, overall, yeah, good decision.
I'll pass it over to others. This is slightly off topic, but I did want to ask you, because I felt like I noticed you and Jimmy have an interaction before the game, maybe about your outfits. Can you tell me if you and Jimmy spoke about your outfits, because they are quite similar?
Yeah, he's like, nice outfit, and I was like, yeah, I just kept it traditional today. Like, I just kept it low key. I mean, I'm always all black anyway, so yeah, we laughed about it. So yeah, for sure. Congratulations on the win. Thank you, Theo. Appreciate it.
Manny, go ahead.
Hey, congrats on the win, Fabrice. I think I just want to mention about just how the game went. I think the Royals were controlling almost like more than 56% of the ball, but yet the midfield and your tactics adapted to the game. Was there any secret how the defense interacted with that position, but get most of the chances on the ball?
Yeah, so I thought defensively we sat a little bit lower, but we also picked them off in some really good moments. If I look back at our build, I don't think we played out enough. I think we went a little too direct, and you know, one of our philosophies is we give a framework, but we also give freedom to the players, and sometimes it's hard for them to hear us. But so I think we could have been better at that, which would have maybe changed the possession numbers. But at the end of the day, I thought defensively we were, you know, pretty sound, and yeah, they had more of the ball. But were they getting behind our back line? Obviously, that spell in the beginning of the second half, you know, like you could tell there was a little bit of momentum, but then I think as we switch things and put players on, the game definitely changed in our favor. So,
and I think this is a good thing to highlight. I think just the first win at home in the season. I think, as mentioned, we've talked to the players beforehand. I think it was very important to get that win. I think it comes in spells that a win at home, even though the players like to play here, want to get fans here. How important is that to get that first win just off the hook and maybe into the next game, which is next week at home, just to play with more calm and for more positivity?
Yeah, I think psychologically it's a big thing. You know what I mean? Just getting that under your belt, knowing it's possible, knowing that all the work you're putting in is you're seeing kind of the fruits of your labor. So, yeah, the hope and the expectation is, okay, we got it under us, now let's move forward in the right direction. So yeah, no, I think it's huge for sure.
Anything else before we wrap up? Nope. All right. Thank you very much, Fabrice.
Thank you guys, appreciate it.
Thank you.